Are you a pro wrestling fan? Then odds are at some point in your life, you were a backyard wrestler. In this new series, I'm going to take you through how we came from this to this. It's a long story, covering nearly 2 decades. But if you're a nostalgic person missing the backyard days of yesteryear and a simpler time of the 90s and early 2000s, this is the story for you. This is Backyard Wrestling Cinema. Welcome back to Backyard Wrestling Cinema Season 2, Episode 4. On our last episode, I dropped the United States title to Mr. Benjamin's in order to show all the newcomers that they were a part of the show.
Benjamin's breaking it up! Oh! 1, 2, 3...
Unfortunately, in doing so, I forgot that I was part of a major storyline where I had to defend that title at our next pay-per-view. Also, on a previous episode, myself and several members of the B4W, our backyard wrestling group, made fun of a group called the BWL, which was the group that was invading our company.
That team in the BWL ever!
One of the people who thought they were associated with the BWL was TLD, Tommy Lee Danger, which was a gimmick that I had created and was actually a part of our company years before he ever actually debuted. See, we had tried on a lot of different gimmicks for a lot of different people over the years. When there was just 4 or 5 of us, we would rotate and be multiple different characters. One of them was Tommy Lee Danger, and it just never caught on. And when this new guy came along, we decided to give him the name. Outside of the show, his nickname was Fluff, and that's what we typically referred to him as. When we made fun of the BWL, we specifically made fun of him as well, and that's a common theme you'll see throughout the years here on our backyard show. Now, as I mentioned, he thought he was part of the BWL, and the gimmick was that he left B4W to join the BWL, but the BWL didn't want him either. So he called out my girlfriend at the time to kind of confront her about making fun of him, but it didn't go as he planned.
You see this? High rollers? This is what you're gonna look like come the pay-per-view. Oh, that sucks.
Myself and Tommy Thunder, collectively known as Mac and Cheese, came out and beat him up with a message for our pay-per-view opponents, the High Rollers. Now, if you're looking for the payoff as to why we beat him up, let me stop you right there. There is none. Obviously, I didn't know what I know now, so there is no payoff. It's literally he gets beat up. Later on, he has a match. He doesn't win that either. We also started creating friction within the BWL and its leader, Rico DMF. Now, at the time, Rico DMF was the B4W World Champion.
Shockingly controversial, I know.
Now, the reason I lost the United States title to Mr. Benjamin's was to show the newcomers, Mr. Benjamin's, TJ Money, AJ Mumbles, and Cobain, that they were a part of the show. And we wanted them committed to the show, just like myself, Tommy Thunder, Rico DMF had always been. So we put the belt on him, but that did create a problem because we had been advertising or promoting the one match between myself as the United States champion versus Mumbles, who was the BWL TV champion. And that was supposed to be a unification match.
You want to prove that wasn't a fluke, man? I'm so sure of myself it wasn't a fluke that I will face Denver Street today for this belt.
So in this episode, we knew I had to get that US title back. Now, as I mentioned, there was controversy within the BWL and its leader, Rico DMF.
And the BWL kind of proved me wrong. I said I was bigger and badder than them. Although I was not the rest of the show due to the meeting, they did win a US title.
So several members of the BWL put their heads together, quite literally.
Yeah. Come here, Cobain. You're on our side, buddy. Let's have a meeting. Yeah. We don't know if we want you. We're going to have to talk about it, Rico. What do you guys think? He's got a good point.
And they decided if Rico DMF wanted to rejoin the group, he would have to take on TJ Money. And if he was successful in that match, he could rejoin the BWL. I get it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't
Beat TJ in a one-on-one match tonight.
Now, in real life, Rico DMF really had high hopes for TJ Money. In fact, when he was actually running the BWL in his backyard, One of the people he really put over was TJ Money. In fact, he wrote an entire show where TJ Money was basically the star. He came out during every match and super kicked people and ended the show by winning his main championship. Unfortunately, TJ never showed up for that show, so as you can imagine, as the booker of the B4W, I was a little hesitant to push him, but Rico was adamant that he wanted to give him a singles match and try to do something special with him.
So he can't make any mistakes here against him.
Rico cannot afford a loss here. Oh! Open up with the stiff forearm shots now. Oh, the bionic elbow!
And because it was a non-title match, Rico wanted to put him over, and he did just that, with TJ Money scoring the victory.
Roll the dice.
What's he going for? Oh, roll the dice. So the 1, 2, 3. TJ Money just defeated the B4W World Champion.
Tommy Thunder, the current BWL champion, even though he was a member of the B4W.
Highly questionable.
And he was defending that title against a member of the BWL in Mumbles, and a person who thought he was a member of the BWL, TLD.
TLD. That was a joke.
Tommy doesn't have much concern. Oh, TLD jumping. Tommy from behind. Oh.
During that match, Mumbles would successfully score a victory over TLD before Tommy Thunder scored the final fall.
Mumbles better
No way.
That's a lot of man.
Oh. Big hug. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt.
No. Hey, no. That'll be it. 1, 2, 3.
Now, as I mentioned, we needed to get that United States title off Mr. Benjamin's and put it back on myself, who wrestled as Denver Street.
One of the toughest competitors. Oh! Trip, and now he's isolated.
There's one spot in this match that we rehearsed more than anything we've ever rehearsed before, as far as I can remember. We tried doing a rolling maple leaf, which is a rolling half Boston crab, and we tried it over and over and over, and we really didn't have high expectations, but we were able to hit it during the match, and it's not great, but for its time, it made every highlight reel we did.
Oh my God.
And it's one of the few things that we spent a lot of time in practice and rehearse to try to get right. Now, the finish saw Rico DMF holding up my hand and helping me win the match accidentally.
He blocks it into the stunner. All right. Come on, get clean.
Rico's in there for some reason. I mean, he was just kicked out of the BWL for life, which means he can't be in here anymore.
You know who I am.
Oh.
And Rico came out as quick as he got in. And this could be the end of the match, folks. With the dragon, corkscrew dragon thing.
Oh, and
Not
again.
that time. And the street sweeper by Denver Street. Mr. Benjamin is out. This could be Denver's opportunity. 1, 2, 3. Denver Street wins the match, which means he is the U.S. champion once again.
Afterwards, Rico DMF would hold my hand up and put the championship around my waist, while Tommy Thunder, my tag team partner, stood in the entranceway in sort of this weird jealousy angle. I don't know what the going. I have no idea.
Your winner, Denver Street.
Over the last several weeks, we had been airing bonus matches from our time as the HWF, stuff that had never really been able to be on TV because it took place before we were on TV. And it was all sponsored by a mysterious BWL backer. And the match we would air this week was Rico DMF versus myself. Now, for weeks, nobody knew who that financial backer was, and it was a big mystery we were building to. But luckily, you wouldn't have to wait much longer, because the very next week, we would reveal exactly who that BWL financial backer was. And if you've been following this series along, it's a name you already know.
Bravo racket.
Oh, just punched through the racket.
It went right through Mumbles.
Oh, beautiful. Benja's gonna be, what's this? Reverses the DM free fall attempt. Oh, beautiful move there.